Hey guys, Matt here with another grain to glass video. This one's a long time coming. I've kind of forgotten about this beer a little bit. It's been kind of busy lately with just baseball season coming to an end with both my boys. A lot of jeeping adventures, a lot of working. So finally got a chance to put this together. So, you know, this is good because this is technically a lager beer, so more time in the keg is not a bad thing. So this is my Munich Helles. And yeah, I think it turned out real nice. I've been sipping on it. Full disclosure, the reason why there's not much of a head on this right now, I had a beer prior to this, so the second pour, yeah, not as much fun, but that's okay. We're not trying to win any awards here. But let's go ahead and roll the brew day footage that happened about a month and a half ago, and we'll come back and talk about this. So, see you in a minute. All right. It's a brew day, so let's go ahead and mill some grains. I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear me, but we got the Weyermann Pilsner in here. We got some Munich malt in here, the light Munich from Carolina, Milneuden, and some biscuit from Carolina. So we'll see how it turns out. All right, and in case you couldn't hear me, what we have in here is 8 pounds of the Weyermann Pilsner. I got 8 ounces of the light Munich from Carolina malt, 8 ounces of biscuit from Carolina malt, and 6 ounces of Milneuden, just because I'm too lazy to do a decoction. I found the Milneuden works really well in this recipe. Oh, and by the way, in case I haven't said it already, this is going to be my Munich Helles, so let's get to it. All right, we're getting close to needing to mash in here. Just waiting to come up to strike temperature. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and get the grains into the kettle. Make sure my false bottom's in there after I was cleaning it, so let's see. So, because I like to underlet, we're putting everything in here first. All goes in the grains. Just even them out in there. Put the salts right on the top. Kind of light salts today, just a little bit of gypsum and a little bit of calcium chloride, just to give us a little bit of something in the water. There's the water here in South Carolina, where I live. Very, very light. It's almost like just spring water, distilled water, or even RO water. It's pretty darn close. All my numbers except for sodium are single digits, and sodium is only like a 12. So, yeah, it's pretty nice base for brewing with. All right, we're gonna close this up for now, and here in a couple minutes this should be up to temp, and then we'll go ahead and mash in. Let's go ahead and mash in. Let's see, what do we have? We have 4 gallons we need to mash in with. So let's go ahead and mark it here on our kettle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right about there. Shut this off. And just go ahead and start transferring here. And away we go. I'm going to open this up just so I can watch it. All right, and then we're gonna crank this down because we're mashing at 150 today. So what's gonna happen here is this is all gonna come over at the strike temperature. It's gonna lower, it was striking at 162, which should lower this. When I top this up with cool water, everything will sort of balance out. It should be pretty darn close once we get where we need to be. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and mix the mash. Let's go ahead and bring this a little closer so you guys can see, hopefully. Maybe not. Good stir. And it's actually a little thinner than I thought it would be, but that's okay. That's what Brew Father wanted me to do. 4 gallons of mash water. Got all the salts mixed in here. And I don't believe we need any lactic acid for this brew. I believe for the grains we're using, it's pretty well set. All right, and away we go. Got a little flow going there now. Go ahead and close the kettle. And as you can see, right on point. Right as I was done with this process, right around the 150 mark, which is where we want, so that's what we're mashing at. And we'll be back in a few minutes, check the pH. All right, looks like the mash came in at 5.42, which is actually pretty spot on to what Brew Father said it would be. Now, as you guys maybe remember from other videos, I was concerned with the pH was always being off, so I expected this to be 5.3, but it looks like this is now the second or third brew in a row where it's actually on point exactly to Brew Father. What did I do different? Well, I stopped using the Wireman acidulated malt. I've been using the lactic acid now, and it seems like that is the way to go to get the exact number. So I'm going to continue doing that. Now that I know, I'm just going to stick with this. This beer would have been better if it was closer to 5.3, but I'm just going to roll with this. I think this will be totally fine. Still well within the mash range. You know, just starting that now. I might turn it up just a tad. That's a little better. All right. Got a good flow there. We'll just have to make sure that the water stays above the green bed. And we'll see you in the next step. It's a nice color. This is what happens when you multitask. Look at that. Oversparged by about half a gallon or so. So I'll just have to keep an eye on this. And as it comes down, just make sure that I hit my volume that I need pre-boil. And we'll just cut it off there. So not a huge deal, but definitely something to be mindful of. All right, we've hit our boil. Crank this sucker down to my typical 55%. I'll give that a second to calm down, and then we'll go ahead and add the hops. All right, so while we're waiting, I already opened this up because we're going to be doing this one-handed, but here's the hops for today. Very easy, you don't have to measure anything out. We're going to do an ounce of Hallertau Middle Fruit for bittering. Both low alpha acids on these. This is, I think, 2.8, and these are low as well. This is the Tatnang, and they're 2.2. So both of these, I believe, are from 2022. So still chipping away at my the amount of hops I have in my hop freezer. So Let's go ahead and take a look here. We might be about ready. No, we're not there yet. Hop break is still happening. Give it a couple more minutes. I'll go ahead and drop them in. Yeah, I will say this is why I like having the big kettles, the 15-gallon kettles, because plenty of room for the hop break. All right, there we go. Got a nice roll of oil going now, and the hop break has calmed down. Well, it took a few minutes. Let's go ahead and add in the holler towel over the through. Boom. All right, while we're boiling, we're cleaning out the mash tun. I'm now running some Star San through there. I know I typically don't use Star San with these pumps, but I got a new bottle and I need to get a new batch of Star San created to keep in my keg to use for this and that through the brewery. So there you go, 5-Star Chemicals. We got some Star San for sanitizing everything. So we'll start with the mash tun, and then when this is done over here and we clean up the boil kettle, we'll go ahead and transfer this over to there, and then I'll get it into a keg to store it for a couple of months, or at least until the next time I brew. And that's typically what I do. I make a new batch every time I brew, so that kind of helps, and I can use it for things in between. So, all right, 30 minutes. We're going to put in the rest of the hops. It's 2 ounces of Tettnang. All that in there. There we go. All right, we got 15 minutes left on the clock, so we're going to go ahead and add in our Whirlfloc tablet and our yeast nutrient. Do a nice half teaspoon's worth here or so. In we go. All right, so we're cooling the wort down right now, and we're going to do the inaugural test here of this kegmenter. So ran some Star San through it. It's all nice and sanitized now. And when we're ready to fill this guy, what I'm going to do is use this funnel with a screen. No, maybe not this funnel. I might use a smaller one actually. But with the sanitized screen to fill this guy up. And we do have a, where did I put it? It's actually in this bucket. You know, as I said before, the kegmenter does come with a floating dip tube, but I do like this float at 2.0. So I'm going to attach that to this lid. Re-dip everything in the Star San. This has all been sanitized, of course. I decided just to go ahead and use this. It's heavy, or heavier than some of my other funnels, so it should stay in place. So that's really all I'm concerned with. I don't want it to fall over while I'm transferring. But got a nice little screen in there. Put that in here like this. And we can start transferring. Right out there with 95 for kettle, which means 70. And this is the 60, so I don't try to say I probably 55, 60 for me, so we will have to that one first before we can. All right, and this this Star San is the old Star San, so that will get chucked. All right, so we got that. Get this in the shot. I believe that should be in the shot. Going to go ahead and put in the tilt. All right, we have the yeast. This is the WLP 838 that I did the yeast starter of. So there's plenty of yeast on the bottom here. I think I'm going to decant some of this. We don't need all of that liquid in here. And I did a nice healthy starter a couple times so I can have some more of this yeast for other beers, which is in the fridge. So should be plenty in here to get going. Let's use the magnet because we don't want that pill to be in the beer. Not that it would harm it, but I don't want to lose it. That's pretty good. Get all that off the bottom there. In you go. All right, now we'll go ahead and put on the top here. We gotta get this gasket on. That would be important. So we are gonna try to pressure ferment this guy with this new keg minnow. We'll see how this turns out, and we'll see if this actually stays on there. I don't see why it wouldn't, because it's got a good feel to it, so I think that'll be all right. All right, put a clamp on. Provide a nice tri-clamp on here. Crank that down real good. Ain't going anywhere. All right, and then we got our spunding valve. Whoops, I got some got some star sand in the gauge. Hopefully that won't be an issue. Let it get out of there. There we go. Okay, so gas side right here. Put that on there. Release valve is closed. I'll go ahead and get it into the ferment chamber. All right, there she is, all tucked away. Fits like a charm. I did have to move the Raspberry Pi way down there. It has to be somewhere real close to the fermenter, I've noticed. I could sit it on top, but just in case we get a blowout, I put it down there. Yeah, that has to be close because of the thick walls, I guess, of that keg. So there we go. All right, and I got the ferment chamber set to 60 currently. So we're a little over that, but it'll come down. And there you have it. And we'll see you in a bit once we start fermentation. All right, it's next morning. It's probably been, about maybe 15 hours since I pitched. And yeah, we got some activity in there already. So hopefully this will climb up to about 12, 13 PSI as it was set for. And we'll see what happens. We're already off and running, very nice. And this is, the WLP 838 after a starter. So I think the starter definitely helped get it going here. All right, here we go. This is Munich. I'm calling it Other People. Brewed it in the middle of March, so we're now in the middle of May, so it's a good couple months old now. A lot of time to lager, a lot of time diacetyl rest. I just took my sweet old time with this beer. I wasn't in any hurry to get it finished. I kegged it back in the middle of April, and so it had lots of time now. It's had about a month now to lager. So as you can see, crystal clear, using my Rector Brewery glass, my can type glass. I really like this style of glass. Let's see, pretty much exactly what I expected in the brew day. Hit all my numbers pretty well, pretty close. Original gravity of this was 1048 and it got down to 1008, so it is a 5% beer, which is pretty good for this style. You don't want it to be, it's supposed to be a very light beer, refreshing, great for the summertime, great for hot days like today. And I tried to stay fairly traditional with it. I did use the Hallertau Mitterfrühe hops as well as Tettnang, so I'm not going to get a whole lot of hop character out of this. This is supposed to be malt forward. That's the intention of the Munich. That's why I like the style so much, because I like malty beers. Used a lot of the local malts in this one. We're using some Carolina Light Munich, some Carolina Biscuit is in here. And of course I use the melanoidin to kind of help, sort of simulate the, like a decoction mash, which I didn't do, but the melanoidin does a pretty good job of sort of imitating that. And then the majority of this beer is Weyermann Pilsner. Still got plenty of that to go through before I buy the Carolina Pilsner, which I plan on trying out once the Weyermann's gone. Love the yeast. I've used on this beer a couple of times. I've now brewed this thing 4 or 5 times already over the last few years. Love this beer. I used the WLP 838, which is the Southern German lager strain. What I like about it, very clean yeast, very quick acting yeast, does a great job. And yeah, I try to keep some of it around in the fridge so that if I brew another lager, I have it. So, well, enough talking about it. Let's see what we have. So as far as appearance goes, very clear, very crisp looking beer. Nice sort of, you know, medium kind of straw color. Just a gorgeous looking beer. Got a cap that kind of sticks around. The head doesn't really stay, you know, too vibrantly, but that's fine. Go ahead for the aroma. Yeah, very malty in the aroma. Not really getting much of the hops at all, which is intended. Definitely picking up on the Munich. Definitely picking up on the biscuity characters in this. And then the rest of it, just, you know, very clean smelling beer. It's just, you know, just a nice, it smells like a nice lager that you would, you know, go down to the pub and get. So let's try it. Cheers. Yeah, I love this beer. This is fantastic. I try to brew this every year or every other year. It's really good for the summertime. Very clean, no off flavors, off-putting anything from this. You know, you're getting a good balance of that. The hops are helping balance out all the malt in here, and you're getting mostly malty taste. I'm definitely picking up a little bit of that Munich, mostly the biscuit, because there is half a pound of biscuit in this, so there's a good biscuity taste to this. But yeah, that's wonderful. A nice beer to keep around for sure, and something real good for, again, hot days, summertime, just like it is coming into right now. We've been in summertime weather now for easily the last month. Every day around here has been, you know, mid 80s pretty lately, except for the couple of rain storms that we got that kind of brought it down to a more reasonable springtime temperature, but it's not going down anytime soon. It's only going to go up from here. Let's see, what else can I talk about with this beer? So, oh, this was the maiden voyage of the Keg Minter, so I definitely want to talk about that. Awesome vessel. Definitely something, if you're looking for a something you can pressure ferment in, something that's easy to use, something that doesn't take a huge footprint, something that's pretty easy to clean. It kind of checks all those boxes. It's also not that expensive. I think I paid just north of $200 for it. So I mean, in today's day and age with all the fancy technology that we have and all the fancy different type of fermenters you can buy, that's one of the more inexpensive routes that you can go, and it gives you everything you need. You can't see in there like some of the see-through ones, but it is stainless steel. It does, you know, the tilt can read through it. You can put a floating dip tube on it and not, you know, pull up any of the trub from the bottom. You can pressure ferment it up to, I don't remember exactly what the max pressure is on it, but it's well beyond what we would ever do for brewing. You know, I try to keep in that 10 to 15 range, and I had zero issues with that. So definitely something I would recommend. And I'm definitely going to use it again. Instead of pressure fermenting in a keg, unless I have two beers going side by side, I think I'll prefer to use the Keg Minter. So, all right, guys, I'm going to leave it here. I just want to thank our brewtuber sponsors real quick, Beer and Wine Hobby and 5-Star Chemicals. We are going to be doing a brewtubers experiment here pretty soon. I think the recipe just came out. So we're going to be, I'm going to be ordering up my ingredients for it, and look forward to, that'll probably be my next video, is the brew day for the brewtubers experiment. So until then, cheers. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.